And or welcome to the stream chat. I don't even know. But like welcome to this. Today we're going to be ranking every FIFA team from this year's World Cup and the energy they've brought so far and how much we've liked them, just kind of fan favorites type of thing. Alright, so first off we start off with Mexico, and as you can see I'm wearing Mexico jersey, and the energy that this team's brought so far this year has been really good. I feel like, but I don't know, I just might be biased from going to watch parties, watching the games with my cousins, all that stuff. We just Mexico fans all the way. And Raul Jimenez playing good. Mora, then this is Memo Ochoa's last World Cup, or already has been because they lost already at this point in time. And Julian Quinones playing insane, and I just feel like the passion of this team was great. So I'll put them in A tier. Alright, now South Africa. South Africa started off the tournament against Mexico on June 11th, and they had 3 red cards that game, or 2 red cards, and it just wasn't a good start. But they did end up getting to the round of 32 before getting knocked out and losing to, who did they lose to again? Let's look this up real quick. Who did South Africa lose to? I can't remember. Lost to Canada first round. And I just feel like the vibes of the team here and there, but I don't really know. So I'll just put them, say B tier. South Korea. Everybody loves South Korea this year. I feel like everybody is backing them. They might be in the S tier conversation, but not getting out of the group stage kind of ruins that for them. So with that being said, I'm going to have to put them in B tier. And maybe just for that, I'm going to have to put South Africa in C tier. Just because South Korea had more energy and all that stuff. Now Czechia, I don't really know about Czechia because I remember watching them play in Mexico and how that went. But hold on, I gotta adjust this stream real quick. And just the way that it is. Oh, I need to change my title of the stream. Oh shoot, change the title of the stream. Uh, ranking World Cup teams tier list. Okay, got it. Bang! Ow! Come on. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so Czechia, them not making it out of the group stage tanks it, then I just feel like they weren't a team that everybody was talking about here and there, seeing videos of. So for that, put them C tier with South Africa. All right, now we're going on to Canada. Man, Canada. Everybody's been talking about the U.S. hosting the World Cup, Mexico hosting the World Cup, but everybody keeps forgetting about Canada. And Canada started off the tournament with the draw against Qatar. Was it Qatar or Switzerland? Or was it Bosnia and Herzegovina? They had to draw their first game because I remember watching it live. And then whenever they did score a goal, I remember they were panning in the camera and they were like, Ryan Reynolds this, Ryan Reynolds that. And I'm like, Ryan Reynolds ain't on the team. And the stadiums and the infrastructure in Canada, I just feel wasn't as good as in Mexico and the US as in vibes. So for that, and they made it to the round of 16, which is good. So I could put them in B tier for that. But I feel like if their vibes were better, they could possibly be in A tier. But if I could put them in the middle of C and B, I would. Bosnia and Herzegovina. All right. Bosnia and Herzegovina were put in a pretty good or easy group with Canada, Switzerland, Qatar, and I don't know. Just getting out of the group was good for them because they beat Italy in the qualifiers, right? I think so. And I just feel like that helped them a lot in this aspect of things. So, with that being said, I think it's great for them to get to the round of 32, but then they lost to the US, which, yeah, the US team was different this year, which we'll talk about that here in a little bit because I have a lot to say about that. But yeah, Bosnia and Herzegovina, I'll put them about B tier, maybe. Well, I don't know. They just don't match the energy that South Korea had. But I'm gonna have to put them above South Africa and Czechia, right there. All right. Now we're moving on to Qatar. I'm actually really happy with how Qatar played this World Cup because nobody really thought they could do what they did because they they went to their first World Cup, and it was whenever they were hosting in 22. And now at this point in time, you got Qatar that played pretty good soccer, and I remember one of their players got a red card, this or that, for breaking what's his name's leg, and yeah, it just sucks. But I liked what they brought to the table, and I'll put them B tier below Canada. Moving on to Switzerland. Switzerland, I don't know what to think about Switzerland because I don't really remember them too much. I remember them playing Canada was their first game, right? And yeah, well, I mean they're gonna play Argentina, so in the quarterfinals, and I don't really know about the energy though. But for that, I'll put them B tier, right above South Korea. Now Brazil. Brazil, a little underwhelming team. This Vinicius Junior's team now, I feel like he played all right, pretty good. Neymar's last World Cup, and they just couldn't get the job done for him. But I like the energy that the Brazilian fans would bring every single week or to the games. So for that, I will put them. I want to put them A, but like, cause it's Brazil. But at the same time, it's like, is that really the standard now? Just because it's Brazil, we're gonna put them at A tier, and then maybe put them in ahead of Switzerland B tier. But then it looks biased having Mexico up here. But I don't know. It's just B tier, I guess, because they just couldn't compete. They could, but since they lost to Norway, Norway's pretty good. We'll put them A tier. All right, Morocco, just great right now, playing good, and they won yesterday, right? Yeah, I think so. No, they they lost to France yesterday. I didn't watch the game yesterday. I was just kind of out of it. Yeah, they lost to France yesterday 2-0, and I like what they've been bringing the past few World Cups and everything. So with that being said, I'll put them A tier. Then who's this? This Haiti? I think that's Haiti. Yeah, it's Haiti. Okay. Haiti, I didn't really see much of them play this or that. I feel like they weren't really talked about too much. So with that being said, D tier. Scotland now. Scotland, underwhelming performance, honestly. Did they? I don't know. They just. I don't. I feel like Scotland should play better than what they did because they're Scotland and everything, but they didn't even get out of the group, did they? Yeah, they didn't. But didn't really. I like the energy that the fans brought, seeing them at Fenway Park, all that stuff. So I'm gonna have to put them B tier just for that, but level of play just wasn't there. Now the US of A. Loved this team this year. Really good team. Made me proud as an American to watch and see how this team could play and how the future of our country in soccer is going to be. So with the U.S. right here, I'd want to put them in S tier, but we didn't compete. That's the bottom line because Belgium got us in the end 4-1. But the energy and the passion that was shown in our country, I got to put them A tier, and I'm gonna be a little biased, put them above Brazil. Paraguay, I guess Paraguay. Um, really loved what they did with this. They lose 4-1 to the U.S. And I know own goal, first goal that happened in that game, but other than that, their tournament was great. Forgot their player's name, who got the red card for covering his mouth, and the fake flop. Yeah, that just sucks for them. But I'm gonna put Paraguay with their energy and what they brought to the table, and how they just competed with Argentina up here in A tier. Australia. Australia's competed pretty well. Um, got eliminated round of 16, right? Yeah, yeah, no. Round of 32? Chill, 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 chill. I don't know. Where are they at? Okay. Yeah. They lost to Egypt round of 32. And I liked what they brought to the table here and there. So I'm going to probably put them in B tier. And now talking about Turkey A. Turkey A, they were supposed to win the Group C or D, Group D. Group D is what they were supposed to win, and or so everybody was saying, but it just didn't work out that way. So we just got to put them in C tier, maybe even D tier, because they just underperformed so heavily. Because everybody was counting on them, which I mean you can't really do much about that whenever everybody saying you're good, but your team's really not like that. No offense, no offense. I'm just saying like Turkey, if they beat the U.S., but still I got to put them in D tier with how it was this World Cup. But maybe in 2030 they could be higher. Take what they learned from this one and do better. Now it's time to talk about Germany. And Germany, I feel like they're a great team, or they are a great team, but they just couldn't get it done. Really, they lose to Paraguay, and for that you got to put them B tier, which we don't really have that many C tiers right now. So I don't know. What flag is this? All right, let's go to Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast, yeah, just C tier. Ecuador. All right, so they made it to the round of 32, but they lose to Mexico, and I mean that's good and all, but you just gotta do better than that. So C tier right here. I'm just trying to put people in C tier, honestly, at this point. Who is this? What flag is that? Okay, this is Group E, right? Oh, it's Curacao. That's why. Okay, Curacao. Although they lost 7-1 to Germany, I gotta put them up here, A tier, because the vibes they brought. Or no, you gotta put them B tier because they didn't play as well as some of these other countries. And I just feel that what they did out there was great for their country, great for the people. And I know people are like, oh, Netherlands B team, this or that. Nah, they did what they could, and that's all that matters. Now moving on to Group F, Netherlands. I don't know. It was quarterfinals last World Cup that they lost in after beating the U.S. in the round of 16, and now they play great, and I really like the energy that they brought with the lish nah right duh, 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 na 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 orange the orange whatever they're called. I just like that out of them and energy that they brought, what they played. They lose in the round of 32, right? Yeah. They lose in the round of 32, which I mean, they played Morocco, so. But they played a close game with them, and that being said, I'm going to put them in A tier. Japan, um, played well. They played really well. They just had. I loved what the fans brought to the U.S. and everything. So, how they played. This might be our first S tier because they played Brazil. They played hard teams, and they to get out of that group how they did with the Netherlands being there and all that stuff. It's just I don't know. Their group was decently hard, but I don't know. We're gonna have to step it up, give some S tiers here in a minute. But as of now, I'll put them in A tier. Sweden played great football, and I'm gonna. I didn't really see much of their fans. I did actually. I went to the stockyards and there were some Swedish fans there, and I liked what they were bringing to the table. We'll put them top of C tier. Tunisia, we'll put them D tier because I mean, I don't know, they just didn't compete as well as almost every other or all the other countries. So yeah, time for Belgium. A tier. Man, I don't even want to talk about it after that 4-1 win against the U.S. and then winning their group in Group G and everything. Just good for them. And they got De Bruyne and Lukaku and all of them, so they should be set. They're playing Spain as we speak right now, which we can pull up the score here in a minute. Time to talk about Egypt. Loved this team. Loved what the fans brought. We're gonna put them. They just played great against Argentina. They should have had that win. They were up 2-0, and then once you get to the 80th minute, they just kind of sold Iran. There was a bunch of controversy with this team. I don't want to stir up anymore, but people were mad about how they were playing in the U.S., but then they had to go back to Mexico, this or that, and yeah, they couldn't really bring that much energy because of all of the controversy in world politics and everything right now. So it's not necessarily their fault. So yeah, I think if there wasn't as much controversy, this team could have done something and maybe got out of their group. But since they didn't get out of their group, and yeah, I'm gonna put them C tier. New Zealand didn't play the best. Didn't really see much of their energy, so boom. Spain, Lamine Yamal's coming up. They're playing right now against Belgium, and they went 0-0 with Cape Verde in their very first game, which was kind of lackluster because everybody expected Lamine Yamal to go off. But what's up, Carly? But when did she post that in? So yeah, with that being said, 0-0 lackluster against Cape Verde at first, but Cape Verde's goalie played insanely well. So if they keep up what they're doing right now, they can have a chance for the finals. I'll put them at A tier for now. Now it's time to talk about the team that everybody loved, that won everybody's hearts, Cape Verde. Gonna put them in S tier, even though they competed with the best of the best, competed with Argentina, all that stuff. And wait, did I say Paraguay competed with Argentina earlier? I meant Germany and Argentina. Yeah. Wait. Hold on. Am I high? What was I saying earlier? I might have to. France. Did I say Argentina? I meant France. I was thinking Cape Verde competing against Argentina and Egypt. Okay. France. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that. All right. So yeah, Cabo Verde played great against Argentina. Could have had that win. Were really close. They played with so much art and desire for the game. So you gotta put them in S tier just for that. Okay. Now going on to Saudi Arabia. Played great. Um, why can't I? Oh my gosh. My thing's jacked up. Okay. There we go. Back to Saudi Arabia, getting last in the group, and I just didn't see the energy of the fans or anything. But 2034 World Cup's gonna be there, and I'll put them top of D tier. Uruguay, historically great, but just didn't play the best, so we'll put them C tier. France, time to talk about France. Dembele's playing great, Mbappe's playing good, and the team's great. I'd hate to play them, but for that, you gotta put them S tier. Um, now, Senegal. Um, who they play in the? They played Belgium, yeah, Belgium, and lost in the round of 32. And I mean, this team was pretty good, so we'll put on BT just for or B tier just for that. Time to talk about Iraq. Iraq was pretty like I don't know. They're alright. D tier for losing their group. Alright, Norway. I feel like everybody's on the Holland stuff right now, so everybody's that's teams getting out is rooting for Norway. So with that being said, we got to put them S tier. The energy they bring, the energy their fans bring, doo, doo, woo, woo, all that stuff. Argentina fans bringing some energy, all the controversy with Messi and uh, the commissioner or president, whatever he's called, and all that. Oh my gosh, my legs hurt. So yeah, I don't know where I'm gonna rank them at just because of that, but I'm a Messi fan. Please don't get mad at me. But yeah, let's put them S tier, or no, we'll put them A tier because they were competing with Cabo Verde, or Cabo Verde was competing with them. Same with have I not? Same with Egypt, which I have over here. So yeah, all right. Now to one sec. Down. All right, to Algeria. Algeria getting out of their group, but then, oh my gosh, getting out of their group and losing to Switzerland 2-0, round of 32. Switzerland's pretty good, so I mean, it's all right to be Algeria. Did I just skip over Austria? Sorry about that, Austria. So yeah, I'll put them top of C tier for that. All right, now Austria, they should be good, but I feel like they didn't live up to the standard that they should have, and getting out of the group in second place, good for them with a group with Australia and Algeria. But at the end of the day, they lost in the round of 32 to Spain 3-0. And I feel like that 3-0 performance, gotta do better than that. So we'll put them B tier right behind Germany. All right. Um, whose flag is that? Okay, okay. Jordan. Jordan coming in last place. And I know they're a small country, and I don't know, all these other small countries played good. They didn't really live up to it. Didn't get a single win, so we gotta put them D tier. Now Portugal, Ronaldo's last World Cup. You gotta love that. Sad to see, but they lost to Spain, which is great team, which is a great team like Lamine Yamal, all of them. So with that being said, we'll put them A tier maybe. Yeah, but I just don't know. I feel like their other games are kind of lackluster, so let's put them B tier. And this is Congo, right? Yeah, DR Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. I'll put them C tier. Coming in third, getting out of the group. It's great for them, and yeah. And Uzbekistan coming in last, not getting a single win. I feel like I didn't really see much of their fans on social media or anything, so I feel like I didn't see the energy there. Now, time to talk about Group L, and um, wait, no, Colombia's first. Colombia lost to Switzerland the other day. Went pretty far, so with that being said, we'll put them B tier. And England, great team. Um, I don't really like them right now because they beat Mexico, but I mean, it's all good. And Jude Bellingham's playing great. Harry Kane, is it going to be his last World Cup or not? I don't know. But yeah, we'll put him A tier. Croatia, we can go ahead, and they've been great over the past few years with what they've been doing out there on the field, coming in second in the group, right? Yeah. And they went to the semifinals against England in 2018. So coming off of that, which I know it was 8 years ago, I feel like they should be able to compete at that top level, and they're going to keep growing. And losing to Portugal 2-1 is not too bad. So put on B tier. behind, or right over here. Time to talk about Ghana, and Ghana played, um, oh shoot, Ghana played pretty good, getting out of the group, going 1-1-1, and coming in third place. So with that, we got to put on B tier, maybe C tier, and then Panama not winning a single game, and they competed decent at the Copa America, didn't they? Which was 2 years ago. They shoot, gotta go down, gotta go down. There it is, yeah. In the Copa America 2 years ago, they competed pretty well, and I feel like they kind of underperformed here. But they were in a group with Ghana, England, Croatia, so that's kind of hard to get out of. So, but I mean, in Group C in the 2024 Copa America, you had Uruguay, Panama, USA, and Bolivia. So it's like, if you're coming in second in that group, you'd expect to do better in the World Cup. But I mean, their group was pretty hard. So I'll go ahead and put them C tier. Alright, I think that's the final rankings. So that's what I'm going to keep it as. So thanks for watching, and bye.